Welcome to USAClimbing. This is my first USAC competition and my first time at another climbing gym. I've only been climbing for 2 months now, so my main goal was just to have fun. The format for this competition was Modified Redpoint, where we were given 3 hours to top 8 different boulders, with at most 10 attempts per boulder. This was the first boulder, and it was all incredibly crimpy. Getting to the low zone wasn't too bad, but getting to the zone looked pretty much impossible, as the footholds and handholds were both so tiny. I slipped on a really bad foothold right after getting the low zone. This was the second boulder I attempted, and it was on a slab wall. Again, all the holds were extremely crimpy, and there were blockers everywhere, which made it much harder. Getting to the low zone was fairly easy, even though I could only get a couple fingers on it because of the blocker. But getting to the zone seemed very hard because to step up with my left foot, I needed to push off the low zone, which was a really bad hold with a blocker. So I also tried to get my right foot up on the start hold, which was also really crimpy with a blocker, but it didn't work out that well. This next boulder problem was very interesting because I have never really seen or tried volumes before. Stepping on them was pretty difficult, especially stepping on them while doing a dynamic move. As you can see, it took me multiple tries just to get to the first move. After getting that first move, climbing up the next few holds was pretty easy, but I had trouble getting to the last hold. I was too short to do what I saw everyone else doing by just statically reaching to the top, so I had to jump for it, but it was not the best hold. The start for this problem was very tricky, especially with the volumes, because I have so little experience with them. It took me a very long time to figure out the 4-point start. Eventually, I was able to get the 4-point start and get to the low zone. After that, the next move, my foot kept slipping because all the footholds were pretty bad. Again, for this problem, I had a really hard time figuring out how to get started. The balance was really awkward, so I couldn't keep myself from swinging away on the volume. Eventually, I was able to stand up on the volume, and with balance, I was able to get my right foot on a foot chip. The next move looked fun. I had to jump to the big low zone, but even though it looks like a jug, it was not a good hold at all. The start of this problem was finally easy again. The holds were not the best, even though they were some of the easiest holds in the competition, but I still managed. Getting to the low zone, the balance was a bit off, but I got my feet up, which helped a lot. I made a mistake by getting my right foot on this hold, but the beta was to get my right foot on the other hold. First, I tried to cross my feet and step up with my left foot, but that didn't work. Then I tried to get my left foot high up on the volume, but that didn't work either. Lastly, I tried to swap feet, but I couldn't because the holds were way too tiny. The next attempt, I got my right foot on the correct foothold, which helped me get my first top of the competition. For this problem, the first 3 holds were all gargantuan underclings. Getting to the low zone was pretty easy, but the next move was really tough, and I just needed to dyno. At first, I tried to keep my hand on the low zone, then jump with one hand trying to catch the next hold, but it didn't work out that well. After that, I tried to jump with both hands and both feet, which was hard because I would always swing away after I grabbed the hold. You can't see it, but my starting left foothold was pretty bad because it had no texture. I needed to put my right foothold in between the volume and the hold, which also had no texture, but the foot would slip a lot when I put pressure on it. This made getting to the low zone really tough. After multiple attempts of figuring out the best way to place my right foot, I finally made it to the low zone. After reaching the low zone, balancing on the volume was very difficult, but I was so close to getting the zone. At the end, I had really fun in my first competition. I was only able to top 1 boulder, but I enjoyed going to a different gym and trying many new boulder problems. I went ahead and registered for another competition next weekend, so please subscribe to see the next video.